The early October sky above Somdal, a village nestled in the undulating hills of Ukhrul district, bore witness to a rare spectacle. The rhythmic hum of a helicopter broke the morning stillness, and within moments Thewingaling Muivah, the longtime General Secretary of the NSCN, descended on his ancestral village. It was not merely a return home, it was a carefully choreographed statement of political presence, personal heritage, and strategic assertion. The landing was secured by an elite contingent of NSCN bodyguards, whose disciplined formation surrounded him as he stepped onto the cleared landing zone, the whirring blades slicing through the mist that clung to the valley. Locals, some eager and some wary, gathered at a distance, capturing the moment on their smartphones, while a quiet tension lingered in the air, as if the hills themselves were holding their breath. News outlets immediately reported on the event, highlighting the logistical precision. The Nagaland Post and Imphal Free Press described the landing as emblematic of Muivah's enduring influence over the Naga nationalist movement, emphasizing the helicopter transport as both a necessity and a symbol of authority. The choice to arrive via air, rather than the traditional road routes, was interpreted by analysts as a strategic signal, a demonstration of mobility, operational security, and symbolic detachment from the political uncertainties below. Regional newspapers underscored the NSCN's role not simply as an escort, but as a visible assertion of territorial control, reinforcing that Muivah's personal movements are inseparable from the organization's enduring operational reach. Social media erupted almost instantly. Facebook pages affiliated with tank-hull communities celebrated the event, with comments framing Muivah's return as a homecoming of a revered leader. Photographs and short clips of the landing circulated rapidly, and posts emphasizing local pride gained thousands of reactions within hours. Meanwhile, commentary from Meitei observers, posted in regional forums, conveyed a mixture of curiosity, apprehension, and political calculation. Many Meitei users pointed out the precision of the security arrangements, noting how the NSCN's presence and the helicopter implied both organizational discipline and a subtle warning to neighboring groups. Among the Kuki and Zeliangrong social media circles, reactions ranged from cautious optimism to latent unease. Some posts acknowledged Muivah's symbolic role as a unifying figure for the tank-hull Nagas, while others quietly questioned the broader implications for inter-community relations in the hill districts. The video footage circulated on multiple platforms showed Muivah descending the helicopter steps, flanked by senior NSCN cadres, all clad in understated uniforms that balanced ceremonial respect with operational readiness. His movements were deliberate, composed, and highly photographed by attendees, underscoring his enduring capacity for visual symbolism. Commentators noted the precision of these gestures. One prominent Facebook page observed that every step, every glance was choreographed to signal leadership, vigilance, and the continuity of NSCN authority. For a movement long associated with clandestine operations and protracted negotiations, such public appearances were rare and carefully timed. Analysts on The Wire and Northeast Live suggested that the event, while outwardly familial, was politically laden. Muivah's return was a subtle reaffirmation of influence over both the organization and the communities historically aligned with its cause. Regional political reactions were equally multifaceted. Local tank-hull councils issued statements expressing respect for Muivah's enduring leadership, emphasizing the importance of peace and dialogue in the district. The statements highlighted the symbolic significance of Somdal as his ancestral village, noting that his visit was a bridge between history, tradition, and contemporary political concerns. Meanwhile, political observers in Manipur and Nagaland, particularly those aligned with Meitei and Kuki organizations, framed the event in a different light. Some commentators suggested that the presence of armed NSCN cadres and the helicopter underscored a latent assertion of autonomy in the hill regions, potentially exacerbating existing tensions. The duality was clear. While the event projected familial and communal continuity, it simultaneously served as a subtle reminder of the organization's operational capabilities and its capacity to influence regional power dynamics. Social media reactions mirrored these political nuances. Tank-hull users celebrated, sharing photographs of local festivities and personal accounts of witnessing the landing. Many described the moment as emotionally resonant, reflecting pride in a leader whose global recognition did not diminish his connection to Somdal. In contrast, Meitei and Kuki users engaged in more analytical discussions. On Facebook forums dedicated to regional politics, users debated the strategic implications of Muivah's return, highlighting the logistical sophistication of the helicopter arrival, the visibility of armed escorts, and the potential message being sent to neighboring communities and governmental authorities. Some posts suggested that the event was a reminder that the NSCN retains deep-rooted influence in traditional Naga homelands, while others emphasized the broader symbolic weight of a leader moving with both operational efficiency and historical gravitas. The imagery of Muivah's return was reinforced by reports of local preparations. Roads leading to Somdal were cleared, security checkpoints established, and residents coordinated hospitality in a highly organized manner. Journalists from the Imphal Free Press reported that while the arrival was largely peaceful, the atmosphere was dense with unspoken political significance. Analysts highlighted the juxtaposition: a serene village, ancestral homes, and rolling hills hosting an event layered with strategic and symbolic messaging. The NSCN's operational discipline, evident in the precision of the escort and the helicopter approach, reinforced an impression of authority that transcended mere ceremonial gestures. Regional media coverage also delved into historical context. Muivah's return was framed not just as a personal or community event, but as an emblematic moment in Naga political history. The Wire contextualized the landing within decades of negotiation, armed struggle, and organizational consolidation. It traced the evolution of NSCN from clandestine operations in the 1980s and 1990s to its current hybrid posture of political engagement and strategic visibility. The helicopter, analysts argued, was both practical and symbolic, representing mobility, authority, and the ability to transcend geographic constraints. Somdal itself, in this narrative, became more than a village. It became a focal point of memory, identity, and political projection. The social media discourse further underscored this duality. Tankhole posts were rich with emotional resonance, emphasizing cultural pride and the personal significance of Muivah's homecoming. Users highlighted the human dimension, elders expressing reverence, youth sharing live clips, and community members engaging in discussions about local traditions. Meitei and Kuki commentators, in contrast, emphasized political implications. Many highlighted the potential for renewed negotiations or tensions in hill districts, noting that Muivah's visibility could shift regional calculations, influence local elections, and signal renewed organizational cohesion. The convergence of traditional cultural pride with contemporary political strategy created a complex narrative, with each observer interpreting the same events through their own historical, social, and political lenses. From a geopolitical perspective, analysts observed that Muivah's return could have ramifications beyond local communities. The Wire and Northeast Live suggested that such high-profile visits could recalibrate dialogue between NSCN and both state and central governments. The use of helicopters, the presence of armed cadres, and the carefully orchestrated public engagement demonstrated the organization's operational readiness and strategic awareness. Some observers speculated that the timing of the visit, in proximity to regional political developments, could signal a subtle recalibration of influence in cross-border Naga territories and a reminder to both allies and rivals of NSCN's enduring organizational discipline. Interestingly, the narrative was not uniform across social media. While Tankhole posts celebrated cultural continuity and ancestral pride, Meitei, Kuki, and Zeliangrong posts contained layered interpretations. Many users highlighted questions about local security, the symbolism of armed escorts, and the operational implications of helicopter transport. Others expressed concerns about inter-community perception, suggesting that the event could be interpreted by some groups as a demonstration of assertiveness, potentially heightening sensitivities in already delicate inter-ethnic contexts. Facebook comments ranged from admiration and curiosity to subtle apprehension, illustrating the varied ways regional communities perceive the intersection of heritage, political authority, and operational visibility. The arrival was followed by measured engagement with the local population. Muivah was seen meeting elders, discussing traditional matters, and observing the rhythms of village life. Journalists emphasized that these interactions were highly calculated, reflecting both respect for community traditions and awareness of broader political optics. Analysts observed that the NSCN's orchestration of these interactions demonstrated a sophisticated understanding of narrative construction, blending personal history, organizational authority, and symbolic gestures to reinforce legitimacy, both locally and regionally. Local political observers noted that the visit also highlighted latent fault lines. While many Tankhul residents expressed pride and admiration, some social media commentary hinted at underlying questions about the implications for inter-community relations. Kuki and Meitei groups observing from a distance interpreted the arrival as a nuanced reminder of organizational capabilities, suggesting that the NSCN continues to wield influence far beyond its immediate geographic stronghold. Analysts on Northeast Live emphasized that such events could have ripple effects in regional power dynamics, potentially influencing negotiations, alliances, and local governance strategies. The return also prompted broader reflections on the role of leadership visibility in sustaining organizational cohesion. Muivah's presence in Somdal, the helicopter arrival, and the visible NSCN escort combined ceremonial gravity with operational clarity. It reinforced internal discipline, projected authority externally, and offered a tangible demonstration of historical continuity. Social media amplified these dynamics, allowing observers from multiple communities to interpret and debate the significance, creating a multi-layered narrative that extended well beyond the hills of Ukhrul. In conclusion, the return of Thuengalang Muivah to Somdal was more than a personal journey. It was an orchestrated, symbolically dense event that resonated on multiple levels. It intertwined historical memory, cultural pride, operational discipline, and political messaging, creating a narrative that unfolded both on the ground and across digital platforms. The helicopter landing, the NSCN bodyguards, and the carefully mediated interactions with local residents underscored a sophisticated understanding of optics, security, and influence. Social media reactions reflected diverse interpretations, revealing both admiration and apprehension among Tankhul, Meitei, Kuki, and other observers. Regional analysts noted the potential implications for local governance, inter-community relations, and broader political negotiations, situating the event within the ongoing evolution of Naga nationalist dynamics. The Somdal visit exemplifies the interplay of personal legacy, organizational symbolism, and strategic visibility. It underscores how leadership presence, media amplification, and community perception converge to shape narratives that extend far beyond immediate geographies. In the hills of Ukhrul, the morning stillness gave way to the whirring of helicopters, the disciplined formation of bodyguards, and the attentive gaze of residents, a tableau that captured the essence of authority, tradition, and political nuance. Across social media, news reports, and local commentary, the return of Muivah became both a point of reflection and a touchstone for ongoing discussions about identity, leadership, and the complex interplay of history and contemporary politics in Northeast India. Disclaimer: this analysis uses information sourced from open regional media including Nagaland Post, Imphal Free Press, The Wire, Northeast Live, The Print, and verified social media pages. Video footage, photographs, and community posts are referenced for contextual reporting. The narrative presented reflects observed public information and reactions, and does not constitute endorsement of any individual, organization, or political position.